Make some motherfucking noise!
Like big booty hoes, cute faces. Let nigga hit it on the first day basis. Niggas fake bitch kick game straight. X no down with the dominate face on. When the path is set with diamonds glaring. Keep a nigga staring when you wearing down a Karen. Let's keep shit to keep a nigga looking at you. In the bunk sex, you can show off your tattoo. Even if you're a max true player, she ain't get...
Yo, what up? We ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. I think I should put my glasses on. Look at old Dapper Dan. Look at old Dapper Dan. Let me get my hat right. Look at Dapper Dan, baby. How y'all doing, baby? Look at Dapper Dan. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? Call somebody. Tell somebody. Let them know Uncle Luke is live right now. Go let them all know. Uncle Luke is live right now on the podcast. I tell you, I keep coming each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do it live, unless we have to do a special thing. Y'all don't know. I got to keep it coming. I got to keep it coming. What's up, Glow? What's up, Glow? Call somebody. Like, share, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook. I see y'all. X, I see y'all. Y'all on here. I got a lot of shit to cover today, boy. I got a lot of shit to cover today. You can bet your butt that I have a lot of things I got to cover today because it's going to be a epic conversation. So y'all just go get your friends, get them on here right now because this is going to be good. I got some friends that are going to be joining me today. I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying to get it together because I'm about to turn it loose on this motherfucker. You already know when they say get it together, turn it loose. Turn it loose. What's up? Hey, yo, I always like to start the show off by asking y'all where y'all from. In the words of Uncle Al, where are you from? Where you from? Where you at? Where you at? I already know Glow is in Baltimore. We know that. We know Glow is in Baltimore, right? Glow, you in Baltimore? Huh? You in Baltimore, Glow? I might have a Baltimore girl join me tonight. You in Baltimore, Glow? You in Philly? Oh, we got people from Philly up in here. We got Baltimore. We got South Beach. South Beach is always representing. You know, every time you come on here talking about you're from South Beach, South Point, I just go to think about fucking Joe Stone crap. I'm not going to bullshit you. I just go to think about, damn, I should have went to Joe's tonight. Fuck. But where did I go? Where the fuck did I go? Raising Cane's with the Raising Cane. How many of y'all have Raising Cane? They just put a Raising Cane by my house. They fucked up my order. I did not go to Raising Cane asking for a Coca-Cola. You go to Raising Cane, ask for the lemonade mix. That's what you go to Raising Cane for. But then you go and get the 3-piece box. This show is not brought to you by Raising Cane. Maybe one day. I cuss too much. They got little kids that work there. Listen, man, my son turned me on to this Raising Cane thing. The kids always, see when you got kids that's 15 and 16 years old, they turn you on to shit that you don't know about. They turn you on to slang that you don't know about. They turn you on to, they just keep you young. Maybe I should have some more kids. And then I'll just stay young. What do y'all think about that? Should I I'm 60-something right now, so I need to just, if I keep having some kids, then I'll stay young. There was one girl tried to have some kids with me. I had to get rid of her. She was fighting me. I was like, no, I don't want any kids. I don't want any more kids. No, go away. I'm not interested. That's what the girl tried to do. I was thinking about getting clipped. Is clipped? I don't know. I need to probably consult with a doctor. If you get clipped, right? Does that mean you can't get that feeling anymore? If you get clipped, you can't get that feeling anymore. It doesn't happen anymore for you. Is it a wrap? Don't do it. Hey, Willie say don't do it. Don't do it. I know, right? Everybody be trying all this new stuff, right? They do the LASIK, with eye surgery. I said, no. I'll just go do glasses. They say do the get clipped. All that new stuff. I don't get into all that new stuff. I just started wearing contacts because I was scared to just be sitting there putting stuff in my eye. And I still have a problem with it. I put the contact in and it becomes like, oh, Lord, my whole face, nose go to running and everything. It's like a whole thing just happened to me. There's some things you just don't supposed to do. There are some things you just don't supposed to do. Hey, Glow, I went and got a haircut today. It's not thirsty. You see the cut. You see the cut. Y'all see the cut. Y'all see the cut. Old man in his 60s. Look at him. No Beijing. No. You see the cut. I know y'all saying, well, why you get a cut today? The cut today is because I have a show tonight. I have a private show. It's Art Basel weekend in Miami. And I have a private show tonight. You know, this private show that I'm doing, and I get to test my show for the upcoming holidays. You know, as artists, we're almost like comedians. You go and test some things. So you'll go and do a show and test like a segment of music. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then you go and you look at the show and you'll come back and you'll take some things out and put some things, move some things around, do about 3. I'm going to do about 3 test shows. And the good part about when I do test shows, I don't charge as much money. I really would do a test show for free. I would really do test shows for free. But let me get this hat is like, this is a new hat. It's all over the place. The bitch look like it's turned that way. It feels like it should be turned that way. I don't know. This is bothering me. I'm going to take this motherfucker off in 2 seconds. Hold on. I'm going to put the hat right over here. You sit right over here. Right over there, Luke Records. No, we're going to put you right over there by the tapes. That's where you're going at. We're going to put the glasses on because I need to look fly while I do this. Hey, like I say, everybody, I want to welcome you all to the Uncle Luke Show. We got a whole lot of things we got to cover today. It's going to be good. Hey, look here, man. For all you people on yours truly, Uncle Luke Twitter, that's X, Uncle Luke Real One. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Retweet the live. If you're on YouTube, I need you to like, share, subscribe. Forward it out to everybody. Share it. If you're on Facebook, see, I'm a little off today because it is kind of late for me. I'm thrown off because I had to go get a haircut. I had to go do some other stuff. I got to get ready for a show tonight. And that's what it is. I'm a little so y'all bear with me. But it is a big day. It's a big day in sports. It is a big fucking day in sports. And let me say this. It's what they call National Signing Day. It is National Signing Day that's going on right now in the wide world of sports here and everywhere around the country. And the beautiful part about National Signing Day, you get to find out where all the top high school players are going around the country. So they still do that. They still do that. They still take high school players. They still take them. They still take all your top players. They still take these kids and they go to schools. A lot of schools, let me just say this. a lot of schools do is they take National Signing Day, and it's more about, okay, I'm gonna get the top kids to sign up. And a lot of schools want to win on National Signing Day versus winning at the games. Like take Miami, for example. Miami, for example, signs all the top kids every year. Everybody signs. All the top kids every year they sign. It never fails. They have number one recruiting class at the ACC, and for the last 4 years. Number one recruiting class. So with that said, is this. That should result in what you call wins, but not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yesterday, the first.
And so, again, it still comes down to coaching. I'm sorry. Still comes down to coaching. It still comes down to development. You can't sign all these players and don't develop them, get them on the field and win. Top schools like Ohio State, they develop and they win. Georgia develop, Georgia wins. You see Texas coming up, Texas develop, they win. You see Oklahoma, it's going to be a beast, it's going to be hell to deal with, develop, they win. You even see my good friend Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. He more so works through the portal. But now that he's at a Bluebird school like LSU, surrounded by talent, in the Louisiana area, he's gonna be more of a developer and win more, other than a free agent guy. University of Miami is more of a free agent program, which they are rich with talent. They're always at the top of the list in the ACC, but they always fall short by losing certain games that they should win every year. That's why we're on the outside looking in, and I'm going to talk about that, whether University of Miami get in or whether they not get into the playoffs. We're going to have that conversation. But in the meantime, let me catch you up on all the people who actually signed yesterday, and there's a lot of kids that signed today. Here we go.
Signing day was yesterday, the first Wednesday of February, but it really gets overlooked by the early signing period in December. These are the final team recruiting rankings according to the On3 industry, and I'm going to run through the top 10 right now. In the top 10 that's dominated by the SEC, Texas has the number one class in 2025. 5 stars in this class. That's the most for any team in this recruiting cycle, and it's highlighted by Jonah Williams, the number one safety in the country and industry 5-star is headed to Texas. Georgia coming in at number 2, 4 5-stars and 19 4-stars in this class. That's the most 4 stars in a single class in this recruiting cycle. Kalen DeBoer put together the number 3 recruiting class in 2025. 3 5-stars, including Keelan Russell, highlighting the class, an industry 5-star, the number 2 quarterback in the country. The Big Ten is represented at number 4 with Oregon, and this is the second year in a row the Ducks have had the number 1 class in the Big Ten. This one has 3 5-stars, including Decorian Moore, the number 1 wide receiver in the class of 25. Defending national champions with 3 5-stars in the class of 25, coming in at 5th overall. Tavian St. Clair is the number 1 player in this class, the number 3 quarterback overall. Michigan makes a big jump from last season, coming in at 6th in the class of 2025, and that's because of 5-star Bryce Underwood, the number 1 player in the country, one of the highest rated recruits ever. Texas A&M is number 7 in the class of 2025. A couple of 5-stars on this roster, including Jerome Miles, the number 5 wide receiver in the country. Auburn's 25 class ranks 8th nationally. Deuce Knight highlights this class, the number 5 quarterback overall. He was previously committed to Notre Dame before flipping to Auburn. They also brought in 16 transfers this window. LSU stayed inside the top 10 at number 9, despite losing Bryce Underwood to Michigan. Harlem Berry is one of the top players in this class. He's the number 1 running back in the country. Tennessee is 10th in the class of 2025, a couple of 5-stars in this class, including David Sanders, an industry 5-star, the number 2 offensive tackle in the class.
There you have it. That's yesterday when most of the guys went. Now you still have Brown that signed up with LSU today. You got Bell that signed up with Texas, quarterback. You got Henry that signed up with the Ohio State, the receiver. Chris Henry Jr. You have Richard Wesley, defensive end, signed up with Texas. Texas is eating. Then you got Keys, who wide receiver, who signed up with Tennessee. Derek Cooper, my favorite player in South Florida, running back. stone cold beast, will be playing on Sunday. Signs up to Texas also. And then you have McCoy, defensive end, who ended up going to Florida Gators, and then Harrison went to the Ducks. So, again, I mean, these are big names. But what we don't see is the University of Miami on this list of top guys, a top 5-star guys. I don't see them on the list. Nowhere. And so it goes into the argument of SEC, Big Ten versus ACC when it all comes down. Big bank take little bank. That's why you see in the playoffs, you have more teams from the SEC in the playoffs, and the second leading amount of teams in the playoffs is the Big Ten. And the ACC is nowhere in the picture because Miami haven't showed up. They only show up. We only show up. Miami only shows up today, signing day. We get all the players, stockpile the roster, pay all this money, stockpile the roster, don't develop the talent. Then what? Lose some games that we're supposed to win, like last year was Syracuse, this year's SMU. Same old shit, just a different day. Out there trying to get it. Did somebody sing that song before? Same shit. Oh, let's get all excited about National Signing Day. We got this guy, we got that guy, we got this guy, we got that guy. And then what? And then what? For us not to use the talent on the field. I asked a guy a question today. I said, name me a player that came off the bench from Miami after somebody else got hurt and he did not produce. Can you do that? Can you name me a player who came off the bench at the University of Miami and played in the game and he did not produce? And he was just complete ass. They have nobody on the roster that's ass. Everybody that's on the University of Miami roster is dogs. They just don't play them. They just don't play them. They're going to have a shitload of kids that get in the portal and they're going to go to other places and they're going to be dogs and very productive at these other places. That is just what we do. Unfortunately, now we're praying for Manny Diaz to win, to then have another argument and hope BYU lose so we can have an argument why we should be in the playoffs. Playoffs? What did I think about Russell? And I urge everybody in the chat, please, in the chat, I talk to the chat and I post your question up here. Talk to me in the chat. If you got a question, talk to me. If you say some stupid shit, I'm not really interested in. I'm gonna keep it above. That's a great question. What happened to Russell? I know Russell. I know his mom, Nevy. I know the grandmama, Cinda, the whole family. Am I surprised that Russell didn't sign up today? No, I'm not surprised. I know it's gonna be a big push. I mean, with the way Syracuse ended this year, and it was bad. A top of the line 5-star kid like that has to think, is this really where I want to go at? I like Fran to death. Fran is my guy. I fuck with Fran. I fuck with Fran heavy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Fran, I fuck with Fran. But at the same time, I mean, a kid of that stature, do I really want to go to Syracuse? I mean, it ain't like they just signed a big-time quarterback. They had a good year last year. This might not be, I mean, this kid could go to any school in the United States of America. He can go to any school in the United States of America. Everybody throwing money at him left and right, because he did what he had to do on the football field this year, and he's still doing it right now. He's the best player in the country, one of the best in the country at his position. So he gets to pick where he want to go at. If it was me, if I was a betting man, and now, don't quote me on this. If I was a betting man, let me put, and you think, and I say, well, I think he might be going at. If I was a betting man, it's two places. I'm not gonna say that. If I was a betting man, there's two places I think he'd probably end up at. Would be, and I'm finna fuck y'all up with this one. Notre Dame, and Notre Dame. Oh, let me say that. Let me stop fucking with y'all. Notre Dame. Or he might just say, fuck it, I'm going to go over here with my homeboy Malachi at Miami. Malachi, him at Miami. I don't think that'd be a good idea for him to go to Miami. I said it right here. Because why? In Shannon Dawson's offense, he don't throw to the wide receivers. He throw to the slot receiver and the tight end. He doesn't stretch the ball down the field. He don't throw the big passes what Calvin Russell is used to catching. All the wide receivers, the traditional wide outs, have left Miami. One went to Alabama. He's the number one receiver. The other one went to Georgia. He's the number one receiver over there. Those two teams are in the playoffs right now, and they're being very productive because they don't throw the ball to the wide out. They throw the ball to the slot receiver and the tight end, and then they shove the shit up your ass. Oh, I'm sorry. They shove the ball down the middle of the field because Mario wants it to be all about him and his offensive line. Now, if you go over there with his homeboy, maybe they might do something different. But do I see them doing something different? I don't think so. But I'm just saying, I don't speak to Nevy about that. I don't tell her. I don't advise her. Because I don't even do it with my own kids, my own players. I had a player sign, my quarterback signed up with Illinois today. I had a linebacker sign up with SMU today. Miami tried to flip him in the last minute. I had a daggone running back sign up to Cal today. My kids are going to school, the ones I coach. And even with all them, I don't tell them, go to this school right here. I don't do that. Speaking of schools, speaking of colleges, I got to move right along. I had one of my players. Let me show y'all one of my players. I was going to do this at the end because after all the shit that I'm getting ready to talk, which is going to be shocking, let me show y'all one of my players. He was injured all year because he came out of high school injured, and he fucking had this was his first game last week. And he just balled the fuck out. Look at Juice. Look at my running back.
There's a big hole up the middle. Look at this run. Looking over his.
Hold on. I got
the FIU Nation will travel. There's a big hole up the middle. Look at this run.
Hold on. Let me bring that shit back for y'all.
We know that the FIU Nation will travel. There's a big hole up the middle. Look at this run. Looking over his shoulder all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's Sterling Joseph, the freshman from Edison High School, with his first college touchdown. Sterling Joseph. Back to Joseph. He's spinning. He's got daylight. Sterling Joseph. 2 touchdowns here in the fourth quarter.
Come on, man. That's what the fuck I produce. That's what I produce. This year's running back is going to Cal. Linebacker going to SMU. Quarterback going to Illinois. Receiver going to Sac State. That's what the fuck I do. That's why y'all see why not Edison? Come on now. That's what the fuck we do. So speaking of what we do, listen, man, this has been a very, very interesting fucking year. This has been a very, very interesting, not year, but week. It's been a very interesting week. Look at this shit.
Take a deep breath. It's been 30 minutes. I tried to cool down. I can't cool down on it. The way Notre Dame and Miami are being discussed together is a joke. Notre Dame being ranked ahead of Miami is a joke. A lot of the conversation piece around why Notre Dame is ranked above Miami continues to be a joke to me. They were once again ranked ahead of Miami tonight. There is a thought in the room that now that's set. Now, if you were watching the playoff rankings reveal show, they brought Hunter Yurachek on, and he fumbled his way through admitting, no, that doesn't mean they're set. Idle teams can still move after conference championship Saturday, but even then, he said they could. He didn't say they would. So how in the world could Miami still be in this? There is a way. I don't think Miami's fully cooked yet. And here's how it would happen. Miami should be the biggest fan of Duke football in the history of mankind right now. Follow me here for a second. There is a world where Brigham Young loses, okay, so they're out of the way, And then it's just Miami and Notre Dame next to each other. Imagine Duke winning the ACC championship game. They are currently about a field goal or a 2.5-point dog. So it's very conceivable. If Duke wins the ACC championship game, the aforementioned ACC doomsday scenario goes into effect. And that is Duke's not going to make the playoff because they won't be one of the 5 highest-ranked conference champs. And so the committee would be left sitting there having already had the Notre Dame-Miami debate in front of them to begin with, which is egregious on the surface that Miami doesn't already get the nod over Notre Dame. Not only will they have that, they'll also have this added sledgehammer to their face at the 11th hour of the idea that we either put Miami in or there will be no representation from an entire Power 4 conference. And as much as you may be sitting there thinking, oh, well, tough luck, that's not why this thing was built. This thing was not built to vault 2 G5 teams into a 12-team playoff. It wasn't built for that. And so, imagine Selection Sunday. Brigham Young loses, they're out of the way. It is Notre Dame, Miami, boom, smack dab next to each other, and Duke has won the ACC championship game. So you're having the Notre Dame, Miami debate again, and you have the added benefit of knowing if we don't put Miami in, there is no ACC team in. That's a nightmare.
And that would be a nightmare. You don't put Miami into the mix, into the conversation, the college football conversation, that's a nightmare. I'm just saying, but the crazy part about it, let me tell you how God works. God is so amazing. God is so amazing. How God works. Manny Diaz had the job in Miami. While he was on the job, Miami was begging Mario Cristobal to come. They didn't convince Mario Cristobal to come, then they fired Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz currently have a better record than Mario Cristobal right now. Why does that do? Has a better record than him. Now, Mario Cristobal, who said Manny Diaz's roster was trash and everything about Miami, he needs to rebuild it because it was horrible, because the last coach did a horrible job over here. Now Mario has to depend on Manny Diaz to win the game in this scenario that you just heard right there. That's how God works. So Manny Diaz needs to win the game in order for the University of Miami to have an opportunity to do what? To be into the college football playoff conversation. And then you also need BYU to lose. So it's just so amazing. That's why you can't shit on people, especially when they're down. You can't do that. You got to keep it a buck. You just got to go in, do the new job. And it goes into the Lane Kiffin conversation. Everybody's all up in arms about how Lane left and everything that he did and what he did and how he left. And it was all fucked up and all that there. But just think about Manny Diaz and his situation. He was the coach of the University of Miami. And the University of Miami was looking for another person while he was on the job. And they hired that other person. He agreed, and the other person then came and took that job. And that other person came from Oregon. Did anybody make a stink out of that? Fuck no. Nobody made a stink out of that. That wasn't an issue. But then now Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss. This is a big fucking deal. See what I'm saying? It's amazing. It's amazing how shit gets done. And it's amazing how people poke fun or poke at the individuals who they want to poke at. Or who they want to make a villain. Speaking of villains, Jerry Jeudy. Lord have mercy. Jerry Jeudy is a South Florida kid. I did a post on, everybody jumping on Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, why do you do that to fucking Shedeur? You do that to Shedeur. Now, mind you, Shedeur like my little nephew. Why you do that to Shedeur? I saw it on the TV and I'm like, okay, all right, Jerry Jeudy, you're going to get killed. Especially after the most egregious thing he didn't do was try and catch that ball. That ball, if he run, he would catch that ball. That was the most egregious thing that he did in the game, not more so the clapping. But, Jerry, you can't do that. And I would hope that Chad Johnson would have a conversation with him, because Chad and Jerry Jeudy is real close, and explain to him that you can't do that. Chad was caping all the time when Shedeur was, getting ready to start. He got on his show and say, hey, just throw the ball to Jerry. Just throw the ball to Jerry. Us South Florida guys, we look out for South Florida guys, but Jerry, you can't do that shit, boss. You can't do what you did to Shedeur. And the reason why I tweeted this one tweet, for me, I always look at, because I'm an old head, I'm not a YN, I just look like this. I'm an old head. It's systemic for me. I look at the big picture of it all. I look at, how did this look for kids? Because I have a youth program called Liberty City Optimists, and our kids go from 4 to 15. Then I coach high school ball, and those kids are 14 to 18. So I look at it from the big picture, the big lens. I look at it from a kid's point of view, and kids looking at this. And then I look at it, from a community standpoint, because I'm a community activist, in my community, and I support other communities around the country, and us Black people. So I look at it as a systemic issue, and not necessarily, okay, we're going to just pile on Jerry Jeudy. I look at it as a systemic issue that we have to deal with in the Black community. We have to deal with Black folks of authority and Black folks not supporting the Black person of authority, but try and tear that person down. But when there's a white person that has the same of authority, we don't attack the white person the same way. Jerry Jeudy never said anything to Flacco. He never said anything to Dylan Gabriel when that fucking train was off. He never exercised that, but it's systemic, because it happens to everybody every day in the workplace. The brother get a promotion and he becomes the supervisor. Then all of a sudden now, because there was the white guy, the Hispanic guy, everybody want to march at the beat with that person there. But then as soon as the brother get the job, then everybody trying to backstab the brother, trying to tear the brother down, coming at the brother a different kind of way, not showing up to work on time because the brother running shit now, to then do what? Have the man upstairs in the luxury suite saying, look at this shit. And that's a large part of a lot of reasons why we can't get jobs of authority. That's systemic. That is what's put into us. What is systemic is that is into us. Well, as soon as the brother get the big promotion, we want to tear the brother down. As soon as the brother become the head coach, we want to go. We want to act crazy. We want to smoke dope and do all kind of other shit. Show up when we want to show up. When brother get the job, we don't want to work as hard. We don't want to fight as hard. We don't want to run through a wall for the brother. We go to the sister. She has a brand new restaurant. We want to go in there and look at the forks and shit. A fork got a little spot on it. Look at the glass. They got a little spot on it. Everything else, look at that. They had some trash on the ground. I went in the bathroom and somebody just put a towel on the ground. But then when you take your ass to fucking Waffle House and see all that shit in the back all over the place, you don't complain. You have no complaints. Back your ass up in the Waffle House every night after the club, going to get that motherfucking waffle so you can go to sleep on it. And you look in the back, you see eggshells on the floor, all kind of shit on the floor, people dirty, the cook dirty, and all that. You don't say a motherfucking thing. But as soon as you go into a Black establishment, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. And it's all bullshit. So when Jerry Jeudy did that, that should be a learning lesson for all of you all to have a conversation with your friends and your kids. Most of the kids, you don't do that. My son, this is the day that he returns and he'll be with me. You know, we got shared parental rights and we will get in the car in the morning. We'll have that motherfucking conversation. We will have that fucking conversation. That's when we have our conversations about a black person of authority. You support that motherfucker. You're supposed to go hard for that person. And when you do that, what ends up happening? You build that person up. And when that person is built up to a higher level, then it becomes, because we're a trendy world, then it becomes, hey, more brothers, more sisters. But we don't do that. And a large part of the time, a lot of them people don't hire us and put us in these big positions because they know that the black workers are not going to work as hard for the black boss, president, supervisor, GM, as they would the white person. Is that sad or what? That's like coaching. The segue into coaching. You look at all these coaches getting fucking jobs. You look at Hartline, who just left the Dolphins playing, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and coaching at Ohio State for a hot New York minute. All of a sudden, he has the job at South Florida. Meanwhile, you got guys like Huff. You got like Willie Simmons. You got all these brothers who've been coaching, grinding hard in the trenches. And you go get, I mean, no disrespect to Hartline. Hartline? That's what happens. So these white folks who run these organizations are saying, look, it's two things happen. Oh, well, we get a brother up in here. Oh, it could be the only way we're gonna hire a brother if this shit is really bad. If it's tore down. South Florida got some great talent on that team. They damn near could have been in the college playoffs. We ain't getting no brother. Only time we hired a brother is when this shit is bad. For him to rebuild it, and when he rebuild it, then we'll take his rebuilding resume and say, oh, well, you lost all these fucking games right here, but you know the cover is stacked right now. It's full. And then they fire him. And then we don't work as hard. Like Brian Flores, perfect example. Goes to the Miami Dolphins, rebuild a program. They tell him to tank for Tua. He tanks. He don't want Tua. He wants Justin Herbert. What ends up happening? Some players rebel. He get this Mika Fitzpatrick, get your ass out. You want to go hard for me? Get your ass out. You get the fuck out. Rebuild a program, some structure. Guys who want to play, guys who don't want to play, get the fuck out. And then they can him. Then he does a lawsuit and he's still in court. But these are the things that happen. So when you look at all these coaches, you say to yourself, why? But then the other part of that, why these guys ain't getting no jobs? The other part of that, I mean, how many fucking jobs was available? Only one brother got a real job, and that was James Franklin. He just moved from Penn State over to damn Virginia Tech. But here's the other thing. And yes, now they want Mike Tomlin out of there. Ben Roethlisberger been talking about Mike Tomlin forever. But Mike Tomlin is a real guy. And the Roonies, they don't play that shit. They don't fire coaches. They don't do that. They don't do that. The Roonies don't do that. They keep their coaches intact. But then let me here's the other part that you guys don't understand. There's a guy named Jimmy Sexton. And I know Jimmy, great guy. Great businessman, great business agent, worked for CAA. Jimmy is, and I want you all, I like you all, when I call these names and talk about these situations, I want you guys, I always like you guys to go online because y'all got your phone right there. Just go right there and tap in a name so you can follow me and you can be right there with me. I don't want to be the guy who's sitting up here telling you some shit or talking about a person or talking about a situation and you have no fucking idea who I'm talking about. Go and look up Jimmy Sexton so you can understand where I'm coming from when you look him up. Super agent, CAA, pretty much represents every top head coach and a lot of coaches in the NCAA. He controls the fucking NCAA. Mostly all of his top coaches are in the SEC. He controls it. So Jimmy Sexton controls all the head coaches. He negotiates the $100 million contract. Y'all heard Lane Kiffin the other day say, I don't know what the fuck is on my contract, because Jimmy Sexton, he knows it's not about money, which Lane is right. Lane will tell you it ain't about the money. He already got money. He's a ball coach. But then Jimmy Sexton is the guy that's running the whole movie. Jimmy Sexton is the guy that controls college football. Your favorite college team said, oh, yeah, we have the search committee and we're doing interviews and we're going to find out from the search committee and the organization. They don't fucking do that. They call fucking Jimmy Sexton. Because he has at his disposal all the top coaches. So he negotiates the $100 million contract for the coach. 7 years, $100 million. 10 years, $100 million, whatever it may be. That's what Jimmy does. But here's the other part of what Jimmy does, and people don't realize it. Jimmy represents the staff. So he'll go in there and he'll negotiate $10 million a year for his head coach, but then he's going to go and negotiate $10 million for the staff, because the head coach can't go there with getting $10 million and the staff getting $2 million. He's not going to win. So then who does Jimmy represent also? He represents the staff. So I ain't mad at Jimmy. Jimmy got this motherfucking thing down to a science. But what I am mad at Jimmy is this. And these guys can't say nothing. These coaches can't say anything. All these guys, all these brothers who are represented by Jimmy, they can't say anything. Because if they say what I'm getting ready to say right now, they would get blackballed. Because Jimmy would then say, no, you're not going to work for my coaches. We're going to go get another nigga. It's still like the plantation mentality. How did black people get here in the United States of America? It took some other brother to say, get on that boat. They got some good shit going on over there with them lights on that boat. Oh, shit. We ain't never seen no boat with lights and shit. God damn. Yeah, come on, man, going on over there. And then when you got on the boat, they put the motherfucking shackles on your ass. It's the same thing. So these guys are representing these coaches. And see, you have the white coach, but then you need the black coach to go and recruit the black players. You need him to coach the black guys up, because you don't have too many white guys as running backs, wide receiver, defensive backs. Linebackers, a couple linebackers, D-line. Yeah, you always going to have white guys. You know, they dominate in the offensive line. So you'll have a white guy as an offensive line coach. You have a white guy as a strength and conditioning coach. So he controls the staff. So then now he controls all these colleges and the staff. He places people in positions like a smaller college. Okay, let me get my young white boy ready. I'm put him in a smaller G5 college. He didn't gonna do good at this G5 college. I already know one of my other colleges is gonna be looking for a job, because one of my other clients, he ain't gonna do what the fuck he need to do, because only one person could win the national championship. Then I'll move that guy from G5 over there to that place over there. I'll take that guy who lost his job, put him as a coordinator somewhere else, build him back up for another couple of years, and then move him back to another top of the line college. That's what Jimmy does. And you see these guys being recycled. That's what he does. But he does not do that for the brothers. The black guys he represents don't get a fucking opportunity. Only thing they can do is be the guy who gets the black people on the boat. And if the coaches rebel, then they're going to go find some other brothers. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, and I hear it all the time. I talk to a lot of these brothers. I'm like, bro, you represented by Jimmy Sexton. Why the fuck you can't get a big-time G5 job? Why you couldn't get that? Why is Huff And I ain't talked to Huff. I don't want Jimmy to drop Huff. Huff went to Marshall. Shit was raggedy. Won. Took him to the bowl game. Left there. Over there at Southern Miss. They ain't won a fucking game in God knows how long. Southern Miss. He got them in the bowl game right now. This is Huff. Huff was the running back coach at Alabama. No different than all the rest of these dudes who were position coaches at Alabama, but they got the big-time job. Why the fuck Jimmy ain't put down on the people and say, hire Huff? There's a ton of guys out there, brothers. And I don't even know if Huff, I'm pretty sure he's probably represented by Jimmy. We'll get the bullshit jobs. Where's the no-win situation? But a guy like Huff, he goes in there and turn that motherfucker around right now. Because he know he does not have time to be fucking around. And that's what you have. That's why right now you're not going to see any brothers get no job. Brothers ain't getting no job. Brothers can't even rebel because they're not getting a job. Because you got one guy that controlled the whole fucking movie. One guy. Speaking about the whole movie, the ESPN Invitational. I know we talked about it earlier about this college playoff. This is bad. This is bad. University of Miami. Oh, shit. You're right. No, hold on before I get out of here. You're right. His commission is $23.1 million. Oh. Jimmy is printing money. I'm mad at Jimmy. Jimmy got this shit down to a science, created a monopoly of the situation. I'm not mad at it. You say he's in, you don't know whether he's going to keep Corey Raymond? Let me tell you something. Lane is a very smart guy. Lane knows Corey Raymond body of work. Frank Wilson, I don't know, is that Frank Wilson, the running back coach there? But I know Lane is very smart. Lane is going to keep people at LSU who has ties and who knows where the bodies are buried at LSU. He ain't stupid by a long shot. A guy like Corey Raymond, I don't see him getting rid of Corey Raymond. If he kept the defensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure the defensive coordinator say, these are some of the guys that I need. So I'm really sure that I don't think Corey Raymond will get booted off the boat. The ESPN Invitation. Make this shit make sense. How the fuck does... I know everybody got all these scenarios and everything, so I just played y'all earlier the scenario of Duke winning and Duke possibly and BYU possibly losing, then Miami gets in. Miami put their own self in their own situation. But I'm just talking about this whole ESPN Invitational from a totally different perspective as to what you've been hearing going on. Why do I call it the ESPN Invitation? Because of two reasons. Number one, they go by polls. Who created the polls? Who does the college football poll? College coaches poll? Who? Who votes on that? College coaches? Really? So the college coach is going to be flying to Indiana, flying to Alabama, flying to Colorado, play a game, get on the plane, and when the fuck does he see all the other teams to then make a determination as to who's in the top 25? Tell me, when does the college head coach have time to look and see and calculate and determine who's the top 25 schools? That's bullshit. When the college coach get on the airplane, you know what he's doing? They done downloaded that fucking whole game. He has an iPad. He's on the plane trying to get back to where he got to go at, or he's on the bus going back to his room, and they're breaking down the film. He's looking at play after play. He's deprogramming. He's processing the game. He's sitting up there thinking about all the things that happened in the game, whether he win or lose, some of the things that occurred throughout the game. How did he function in the game? And then now gets to the office, get out the plane, the weary night, and then go and they breaking down film, looking at their position, getting ready for meetings at 5:30 in the morning. When the fuck do they have time to go look at the other teams and say, these people should be in the top 25? What writer? So, okay, look at the writers. What fucking writer is looking at all the teams? Really? Tell me what writer has time to look at all of the teams, 100 motherfucking teams, to then determine who's in the top 25? Who does that? Who has time to do that when they got to go and write about the game that they just attended? Most of them fly on the airplane with their prospective team. If they're a beat writer, if they're AP writer, they're on the airplane with their team, and they're writing their story up right now. They just went and looked at one game, went to the press conference after the game, spoke with the players, spoke with the head coach, spoke with all these people, got back on the bus, took their shower, got on the bus with the team, hopped on the airplane to do what? Write their story, print that, get that shit done, send it in, and all that. When the fuck they got time to look at the top 25 to then determine on Monday who's the top 25? It's all bullshit. It's the ESPN invitation. ESPN does this. They're in control of the whole shit. They made all these SEC teams. They pushed their rank. Think about it. I could take Conference USA and say they're the baddest conference in the world, and all their wins and losses and the teams. I could hype up Conference USA and say that they deserve to be in the playoffs. They are the dominant conference. Even the losses that they may have, I could just put all of them in the top 25 in Conference USA and put them in the top 15 and say, look at these motherfuckers. Look at their strength of schedule. Look who they beat. They beat top 25 teams because I determined that these teams are top 25. That is what ESPN do. ESPN determines that the teams in the SEC are top 25, top 15 teams, and when those teams play those teams, then they say the strength of schedule. And the strength of schedule is based on who they determine as a top tier team. So they manufacture this shit. And most fans don't pay attention to the shit, and they think, oh, they look at their strength of schedule. You're having a fucking argument about a strength of schedule right now, based about how many teams was ranked, how many ranked teams that you have. And that's why the argument comes in with University of Miami and fucking University of Miami and Texas, University of Miami, Alabama, University of Miami, and Notre Dame. Well, Miami beat 4 ranked teams to Notre Dame 2. And then Notre Dame lost to 2. And then they get stuck. Oh, shit. They do have an argument. Huh. We fucked up, Bob. And then you talk about Texas. Then Texas get in an argument. Well, hell, we lost 3 games, but look who the fuck we lost to. Then they had that conversation. So it's all fucked up. It's all manufactured because it's the end. That's why I call it the ESPN invitation. They create the scenario and the situation as to what they want and how to have it done. So it's amazing, people. It's amazing. Chuck. Hey, look, Chuck. One thing, let me tell you something, Chuck. One thing about it, Chuck. I want to tell you this, Chuck. For some reason, I'm having a problem on Facebook, saying I've got technical difficulties over there. Chuck, let me just say this. When it comes to Are you guys still on Facebook with me? Because I think I'm having some technical issues. It's showing on the screen. Chuck, let me just say something. One thing Lane know about when it comes to Louisiana, and every coach, when they come in to get these jobs, they know certain people you got to keep because certain people got ties. And the difference between Louisiana and everywhere else, Corey, Chuck, is the fact that Louisiana, unlike everywhere else, unlike everywhere else, they stick with each other. I've heard coaches get off the airplane and say, look, man, when you get off the motherfucking airplane in Louisiana, they're going to tell you, the damn gas station attendant, you ain't getting no player out of here. Hey, Wardy, you ain't getting no players out of here. Everybody go to LSU. You tripping. You just go to LSU. You just go to Louisiana, just go there and get you some, motherfucking seafood pontchartrain, go get you some goddamn gumbo or something like that. That's all college coaches do when they go to Louisiana, because the first thing they're going to tell you, you ain't getting shit out of here. Everything goes to LSU in the state of Louisiana. That's why that job is so attractive. And that's why guys like Frank and Corey Raymond is my brother. I love Corey Raymond to death. Corey Raymond is the best defensive back coach in college football. Hands down. There's no fucking question about it. Shouts out to my man, Big Homie. How you feeling, Big Homie? One of these days you're going to come on here, join me, Big Homie, and talk some shit, but I think you're scared to come on here with me. I did show up on your show, Big Homie. I just want to remind you of that. It's when you was with the guys on the 6. I did show up to your show, and you didn't show up to my show, but hopefully there's still time. Even Marco Rubio couldn't get to tell Trump. They told Marco Rubio, said, Trump, wake the fuck up. I'm gonna make this statement. I need your help on this shit, right? And we need to convince the committee to fucking get Miami in. That shit was so funny. That shit was funny as hell. Get up, Trump. Get the fuck up. I can't make this shit up, man. Listen, man, it is so much to impact on today. It is bad. It's fucked up. It's bad. So here we are today, University of Miami. Here's the big news. Lane Kiffin goes to LSU. Charlie Weiss goes back. Charlie Weiss agrees to a $2 million contract at LSU coordinator. Well, we already know Lane Kiffin is the offense coordinator. Don't bullshit nobody. So Charlie Weiss is going to go back to Ole Miss to engineer the offense. I can't wait to see that. Then you got Charlie Weiss going back over there. That's going to be crazy. You got him going back to Ole Miss. Now, Charlie Weiss by about 5'2". He's on the books as the offensive coordinator. But is he really the offensive coordinator? We are going to find out real fast. You are going to find out real fucking fast who's the offensive coordinator or who was the offensive coordinator all year. You're going to find that shit out real quick. So you got Charlie Weiss going back to call the offense. You got Austin Simmons. Get ready to go in the portal. Where's Austin Simmons going? Something is not working right with my links here because I got Austin Simmons' dad on the line. He's ready to come on here. And that was going to be the $365,000 question. Because I talked to the dad earlier today. And I was like, where the fuck is your son going? Dave? I said, Dave, where's Austin going? What school is he going to? I said, Dave, I got to do my podcast, Dave. I might need you to come on and explain this shit. And you know, Dave, very colorful guy, Austin dad. Dave don't give a fuck. I'm just keeping it a buck. Austin has a real dad. Dave like, Luke, tell me where I need to go. Tell me where I need to be. What time I need to go on there. And I'll be there. So I've been trying to send Dave the link. But I can't even send the fucking link to my damn self. To come on. And hopefully by before the show is over with, we're going to talk to Austin Simmons' dad, David Simmons, as to where his son going. And what is he going to do? Is he going to stay at Ole Miss? Because what he did tell me, say, Luke, his contract is up. I said, what? Dave said, yeah. My son's contract is up. I said, no, don't tell me that. I said, well, where the hell are you going at? What are we doing? Where the fuck is Junior going? He was like, Luke, I'm here to tell you. We're going to be out there free agent. And I wanted him to come on here and tell you this himself. Hopefully I can get him on here. I say, so Dave, what about Miami? You right around the corner. This would be good for your little brother and everybody, Dave. What the fuck about Miami? Is Miami, will Miami be someplace that you guys consider going, Dave? Dave say, Luke, they're not out the question. I was taken back by that. I said, Dave, Austin Simmons at the University of Miami, do you know how big that would be? I said, Dave, you got to come on the show and tell me. You got to come on the show and talk about this shit. You got to come on the show. Listen, man. I said, Dave, but you're under contract with Ole Miss. Dave said, no. Contract is done. Our contract is over. What? So you're a free agent, Dave? Yeah, we're a free agent, Luke. Get the fuck out of here. I said, Dave, that's amazing. So I know we got big roving reporter, big homie on the line here. Just imagine. So Miami has a situation where they can really cut a real deal. Hopefully Shannon Dawson get a job at Tulane. Get his ass the fuck out of here. Hire former UM quarterback, former Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator. Bring Austin Simmons, sign Calvin Russell, and Nick. That would be something serious. That would be amazing. I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to talk too much more. Even Mario couldn't fuck that up. You put that on the field, even Mario couldn't fuck that up. That would be a hell of a tandem. That would be some shit that's made for TV. That would be amazing. That would be so fucking amazing that you listen, man. Let me just stop. I'm gonna just leave that alone. I'm gonna just, because again, I'm dreaming again. 99.1% of the time, nobody does what I say do, and I just go to talking, and people don't listen to me, and I just try and help them along the way. I try and help them along the way. I try and give them some information. I always do, but nobody wants to listen. They don't want to listen to the old ball coach. I try to give them the good information. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I got to segue. Hopefully, we can get Austin Dad on here to talk about that. But if we can't get him on here to talk about it, we'll get him on here to talk about it later on. So now we got to move on. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is amazing. You want your son to play for me? Well, goddamn it, I'm going down there and play Coach 8U. Fuck it, I'm coaching AU next year. I'll be his coach. He got to come play at Liberty City Options, unfortunately. He got to come over here, best program in the world. But now I got to go on over here. I got to segue to this. Donald Trump and the Somalis, and he's mostly talking about the people in Minnesota. He started up on the Somali lady. He started up on her, Congresswoman, and he went off on her, talking about her, say she's trash, she's horrible. But I don't recall Trump, the harsh things that he say about the black women. I think he's a little more harsh on black women than he is on the white women. But then again, I don't know who Miss Piggy was, what reporter he called Piggy. And then again, he called one presidential candidate wife ugly as fuck. So he does say some, well, he balances off. I'm not going to say Trump. He shares his thoughts about just one race of people. He goes after everybody. But he called these people scammers. He called these people everything but the child of God. Then his defense secretary blows up the boat. Blow the people out the water. Shoot them out the water in the Caribbean. And the next thing he did was what? Fuck it. There's some people floating around in the water out there. Shoot them motherfuckers too. And take another shot. That's a war crime. That's a fucking war crime. However you slice it up, that is a war crime, people. You can't do that. So I guess you say, fuck the Geneva Convention, fuck the Constitution, fuck it all. I'm going to just do what the fuck I want to do. When you engage in war, you got to go to Congress. You got to get congressional approval. You got to get approval for this shit. You just can't go out there. You got to get approval for this shit. But not Trump. But he's showing the next president the range you can have. You can do what the fuck you want to do, how you want to do it. Fuck Congress, fuck everybody. Just let them, when they get mad, just run it through the courts and do it like that. So, I mean, it's amazing. I can't make it up. But what's more amazing and what's great, what gets me excited about running for office, if I decide to, is what they get ready to do in Jersey. What they get ready to do in Jersey is something that I said they need to do in the state of Florida. And when I be talking about running for, and I'm torn between running for governor and running for Congress, I'll be up all night like, what should I do? If I run for governor, the race, they got Byron Donald, the fucking Trump black Republican, and Demings, Val Demings' husband, nobody knows who the fuck he is, and a whole bunch of other people in the race. They don't know these people. I could beat these people because they say, oh, it's a red state. But you're asking rural area white people to vote for Byron Donald? He's black. So there's no top of the line white candidate. So you can't, in fact, actually win this motherfucker this year. Because it'd be 3 against 3 black guys running. I know the people in rural America would love me. Because I'm gonna call it like it fucking is. And they don't want no regular politician running up there. Hey, look, them boys up in them bushes, they don't want a motherfucker with no suit on, no regular politician. Especially, I don't think they want a brother who's a booty licker that's gonna tell them, oh, y'all, I'm one of y'all. No, motherfucker, you ain't one of us. You are not one of us. You are not one of them. People gonna tell me in a minute, you are not one of us. You may want to go hit reset. You ain't one of us, and then they're gonna give him all the heat that he could only imagine because he's supported by the president. He got a bunch of money. Brian Donner got a bunch of money. Demings, he gonna get his ass handed to him. So there is a shot that I could sneak up in there and win that motherfucker, then become the governor of the state of Florida. Y'all won't have no football coaching problems then. Because them boys that you won't have no football coaching problems. You won't have no money-making problems. Because it's really about stimulating the economy. And the more you stimulate the economy, the more you put money on the streets. You see when Trump gave them check, well, it wasn't Trump, it was really Nancy Pelosi. Them stimulus checks. When they put them stimulus checks in the community, everybody had money, everybody was happy, crime was down, people were doing shit. That's what America should be really all about. If we so-called the best country in the world, why the fuck we're the poorest? Why the fuck do we have people living in poverty? Why the fuck do we have bad education, bad schools that we're educating people to be bad? Why do we have a pipeline to prison? Why we don't have economic programs? And let me tell you this. I got to say this right here. And I should have had this, and it just jogged my mind. Because yesterday I saw on the news where this lady and her husband, these multi-billionaires, God damn it, help me out in the chat. Help me out in the chat. They gave, which I was saying this shit on my last podcast. If we go to my last podcast, God say, I really believe that every kid born in Florida should be a 6-figure baby. And this family made a donation to every kid born in the United States of America. Who the fuck are these people? They donated money where every kid born in America, I think, is $100,000. And all of the kids that are 15 is like $250 a month, some number. There's a family. Help me out in the chat. I saw this on the news. What is this family? They say every kid born right now will get, I don't know, $100,000, $1,000, or whatever the fuck it is. And that's what I think. Every kid born in the state of Florida should automatically be a 6-figure baby. And they are putting this money in their bank account. And when they turn 18, these kids are going to have a bunch of money. It's 1,000. It's 1,000. Yeah. And I thought that was great. They were at the White House yesterday. That was the best thing ever happened. This lady said, look, I don't think kids should be born in these situations, which is a beautiful thing. And that's how I feel about Florida. And if I run for Congress, the people in my district, the lady who, Sheila Shepherd McCormick, who just went to jail, just got out, the Congress lady, she said, oh, I'm going to give everybody $1,000 a month. That never happened. I saw the flyers. I saw the shit. That never happened in her district. But it can't happen if you put programs together. It can't happen. State of Florida. There's no reason in the world that anybody should be living in poverty with all this fucking sunshine and all these beaches and everything. Why don't we use all this agriculture? We got sunshine, beaches. You have all this available money. You have farmland out here. You can grow every fucking thing. You can grow enough shit to pass on to the whole world. But no, we got crime. We got kids killing each other in Tampa and Jacksonville, Orlando and Miami. We got bad education. We get ready to close down some schools because what we did is we allowed the Republican thing to do, which is let them own the schools. They created charter schools throughout the fucking whole place, and they get rid of all the public schools. So they got good charter schools, they got bad charter schools. Don't even let me get on that shit there. But that's what it is. So why can't you have a situation where every kid in the state of Florida goes into 6 figures? And that should happen everywhere around the country. Not just Florida. It should happen everywhere in the country. How do you do that? Look what the fuck New Jersey did. But I don't even think that New Jersey even thinking down this line here. Look what Paramount Pictures and the deal that Paramount Pictures, which I pose this to the state of Florida, which is a tax credit for movie studios, television. I've been fighting this fight for the fucking longest.
Bayonne, New Jersey.
More movie studios coming to the Garden State, ladies and gentlemen.
So Paramount has agreed to a minimum 10-year lease for 285,000 square feet at 1888 Studios in Bayonne. The location was approved by the state in May 2024. The site sits on a 58-acre former Texaco oil refinery in Bayonne. It will become one of the largest film campuses in the United States and the largest in the Northeast region when finished in the fourth quarter of 2028. So it's going to have over 1.1 million square feet of total production space, 23 smart sound stages, 40-foot clear stage ceilings, post-production facilities, office and production support areas, mills and storage, lighting and grip space, base camp, and backlot zones.
I mean, if you guys are from Bayonne, let us know. Do you guys like this, or are you guys pissed off that you're getting a massive Paramount movie studio?
And see, the thing about it, do you know how many jobs this can bring to New Jersey? I mean, let's face it. New York is already one of the entertainment capital of the world. New York in California, in Georgia. Imagine giving a tax credit in the state of Florida, but the tax credit being designed for people who live in Florida. Imagine taking these historical Black colleges and creating film schools within these historical Black colleges. So when these kids leave out of college, they'll learn a trade, being a gaffer, grip, cameraman, a producer, whatever it may be, and be able to go segue right into a job working for a movie production studio. Movie production studios coming down here all the time. Do you know how much money they save by shooting in the state of Florida? It's less lighting. Palm trees and shit. Right now, I'm in the movie television business. Documentary business. I'll be shooting a movie. I shoot other TV shows. When I want to shoot a TV show about Miami, we have to bid it out to places like Puerto Rico and other countries that look like Miami that will give you a tax credit. That are, if you don't get a tax credit, you can go there and shoot for less money than you could shoot in Miami. Is that fucked up? So you got to go cheat it somewhere. Or you got to go in LA and do a studio and create the look. Because you can't get that in on a sound stage. You got to go build Ocean Drive, build Liberty City on a set. When all that money could be down here. All the barber, he's unionized. He gets $1,000 a day. The food service person, they get damn near $2,000 a day. That's money stimulating your economy. Little things like that, you should be able to profit off, but because it should be about making money for the people. But most of these politicians are about making money for themselves. They want to grease their own pocket. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to get off here. Hopefully you all had a great time today. Sorry I was a little late, but the Luke Show always will go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. man, this was a great show. If there's any questions you want to ask me before I get off, right now, here's your time. I got 10 minutes to answer any question that you may have. Put it in the chat. Shouts out to all my good friends on YouTube. How y'all feeling? The builder can't frame up around tag. Okay. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, send me whatever question is. Other than that, we're gonna close it out. I got a private show. It's Art Basel weekend. It's Art Basel. You see all the art. You see, I like my set like this. When you look at it, you'll see all kind of things. That's Lenny Harris right there. It's my Cowboys right over here. They go to Luke Hat. Those footballs up there that you see up here, and the Harlem Globetrotters signed that basketball and the football, and you see the Book of Luke back there, and all these different things you see over here, my championship trophy, football, and all that. All those balls up there signed. Up there, Warren Sapp, Hall of Fame ball. Mark Caesar, when he played for the University of Maryland, that was his game ball against Florida State. So I got a lot of shit back there, y'all see. And people keep saying, "Oh, Luke, you should do it on this other kind of set." No, I like this set because I know what y'all do. Y'all take a picture of this shit and y'all go to Zoom in and be like, and that's my little Pop Warner team. You know, it was on that team right there, up there, that picture. How can I get over that picture right there? Devontae, that's me on Phil Donahue show talking shit. That picture right there, you had Devontae Freeman on that team. You had Darrell Esters. You had Charles Gaines Jr. We went to the Pop Warner National Championship and won. That's my whole crew. So I have all this shit up here. That ticket right there. That's the Miami Heat. That's the first ticket. See, I was one of the first ones. You got this ticket. I was one of the first people to get a season ticket, one of the first season ticket holders of the Miami Heat. And they gave us all this ticket when they came to Miami. They were playing at the Miami Arena. And they sent us all this ticket. Section 1, row A, seat 1, VIP, charter season ticket holder. So everybody jumped on the Heat out there. I was a charter season ticket holder. See that? See the date? When the Heat came, 1988. I was a charter season ticket holder. That is why that's sitting right there. Always been a Heat. That's why you see me in the picture with Tupac. I had my Heat shit on. We were sorry as fuck. So all these celebrities go sit down. No. Ichiban. Number 1. Question. I got a question from the YouTube. YouTube, if you're a parent. How would you come? I'm not a lawyer. I would advise anybody that wants to sue anybody to go get proper representation. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't like giving legal advice out at all, but I would say go get the proper representation because I know that's a very serious issue. Anytime you get to the point where you got to go and sue somebody, you got to get proper representation. The Republicans are running it again. That's not a question. They are. Any other questions in the chat before I get off of here? Hey, I love y'all, man. Hey, look here, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Go to my YouTube page and follow me over there. If you go on my YouTube, it's a lot of shit that y'all checking out over there. It's a lot of people from YouTube on here right now, which I love it. But if you're not on there, if you are anywhere else in my regular universe, you go to the YouTube page. Oh, before I go, look who late.
I'm here.
Look who late.
I mean, I'm here. I made it.
I was just ready. You made it. I was just ready to get off. Why you not down here, my ladies and gentlemen? Y'all give it up for my girl T.
Hi,
T
y'all.
is here. The beautiful D. And all the men are going to jump in. Hey, all y'all
Oh
fellas,
my gosh,
don't
no men
fucking
are doing nothing.
Don't try to jump in her DM. She's absolute. See, I only know beautiful ladies who do sports. Hey, hey, look, she's a beautiful sports-minded lady. I mean, one of our shining lights of sports. You know, you see all them sisters doing sports. D is my top of the line, and y'all give it up for D.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
That's my girl.
How to introduce people.
Hey D, and y'all can find her on D Love Sports. She all over the place. If you got a question to ask her before we check out, this lady here knows more sports than I could ever think about knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just keep it a buck. So I get a lot of my information from D. They'll go glow down there talking about D Love.
Oh,
D,
let me see. I don't even see the. Hi, how y'all doing?
Let me ask you this.
I had to set it up. I came on here as fast as I could. I didn't even get.
Yeah, she was out on another date. You know, she goes on these dates and things. We're not going to talk about that, but D goes.
We can talk about your dates. How about we talk about your dates? How about that?
I have a date tonight. I have a show date.
Oh, that's why he rushing me, child.
I have a show date. A show date.
He got a date. Mm-hmm.
Show.
You know what happens after the show?
The show, the at the party, the hotel. The show at the party, hotel. No. That was back in my old days. That was my. So, D.
Yes.
You saw, and one of the questions that I want to ask you, you saw the teams, the players going to these teams to signing day. What you thought about the signing day, and what did you think about Maryland? I see Maryland got a 5-star.
Yeah, Zion Ely out of Maryland. He's from Maryland, staying in Maryland. You know, they got that thing where the best of the DMV or the best of Maryland get to stay in Maryland. And shout out to Coach Loxley, locked him down. I was actually
what is a 5-star?
Yeah, on defense, man. Yeah, so Locks is very, very excited about him. And all of the people, they didn't think that they were going to be able to retain that commitment from him, because South Carolina was like, hey, come on down here. They were poaching him. You know, at the end, he did an official visit with them this winter. So, you know, they were ready. They were ready to be like, Loxley loses the 5-star. You know, they was ready to put that out there. But yes, they have him. They got some wide receivers. They got some tight ends. They got some guys on defense. But they had some amazing freshmen. So as long as he can retain them, which it looks like a lot of them will be back because Coach Locks is back. He's there next year as well. I think they're going to be good. Just got to get that depth. They got to get that depth. So now it's time to get the guys in the portal. So they got the guys that, you know, committed. Now it's trying to get the guys in the portal. Shout out to Coach Franklin. Penn State look a mess today, don't it?
A hot mess. A hot mess.
They had a little tumbleweed on their signing day.
A hot mess. Hey, and that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, James, and I was talking about this earlier. You know, James Franklin, he's probably represented by Jimmy Sexton. And one thing you don't do is you don't cross Jimmy Sexton, because he'll put a stranglehold on you where you won't get no coaches. And I think a large part of that is happening right now. Jimmy looking at y'all like, hold on, y'all tried my motherfucking coach. Better yet, I'm gonna get him another job right now so he can take all your recruits. He gonna have his recruiting class from VTech, and he gonna have y'all. And that's how he gonna build his shit that quick.
Good luck.
Is he killing it or what?
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, that's why I tell fans, be careful what you ask for. Be careful. Like you could get emotionally invested and you like, I need him gone. Be careful what you ask for, because there is a domino effect. And if you think in that moment that you're willing to deal with the domino effect, until you realize there was no plan. Whatever your imaginary plan was, that ain't it. That didn't happen. So I always tell fans, be careful. Y'all get emotional and y'all think this is the answer right now. This is the problem. This is the solution to the problem. And now look at you.
Yeah, because at one point they had old Loxley on the hot seat. You know, I like Loxley, and I know that's your guy and all that. Then and you cover the team and everything. And I'm happy that I'm happy that he's still there. I'm happy that he's able to get these players coming in because a lot of times people think it's a marathon. It's a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And
you
it's
have
a
to know
long
what you're
one.
working in, especially with a school like Maryland. And the players will tell you, like, nobody wanted to come to Maryland. Like, nobody, it was not on people's top list to come to Maryland. So you found someone that wanted to be there, that could recruit there with the limited resources that they have and make something happen. So those are all the things you have to consider.
All the things you have to consider.
Even really, the fans ain't really privy to the ins and outs. They just want to see the wins. That's what they.
Let me ask you this: Is it like a thing that Maryland has to recruit kids from Maryland, and because you see other universities like Georgia come to Florida, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, they'll go get Texas, they'll get kids from everywhere. You'll see a school like Miami get kids from everywhere. You'll see schools like Alabama, they'll get top players from all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Why is it a thing that Maryland at the University of Maryland, and this way before Loxley, and it seemed like it's still the thing right now that they only recruit Maryland? Is that the thing?
Not so sorry. Not now. I think that's the thing, right? You recruit the local talent, you build relationships with them young, right? You know them when they're going in their freshmen in high school. Like you build those relationships, those coaches, that community. Like, look, I got one. Like Coach Lively tells the story about how Malik Washington's coach is like, look, I got a kid for you. You know, I got a quarterback coming for you in a few years. So you start building that relationship with them local kids early. So then, you know, that it's easier to bring them on. You meet the mama and the daddy very early on. So when all those people come around, you've invested. You're vested in, you know, grandma. You know everything already about these kids. I think it's a great strategy because there are some very talented players in Maryland. But then there's a portal. The portal changes that also. You can get kids that have left the state, went somewhere else, that are talented, went to the big schools, not getting, you know, the numbers or the playtime or whatever that they want, and they can come back home. You got the kids that regionally, you got kids from Philly, you got kids maybe from North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, whatever, that can come back in the area that have gone to different schools. So I think it's working out for him. And then the talent that he has, because there's some dogs on that team, they'll be able to recruit guys as well to come in. So I think it starts because it's an easy way to get kids early on and build those relationships early. And I think that's it for any state. But like, you got and you're not that program. You're not Alabama. You're not, you know, you don't have those budgets. You ain't, you know, you're not flashy like that. You're Maryland. So you have to do, you know, what your school allows. That's a good strategy.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to have a plan, and coach got a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to my girl D Love Sports, and y'all can find her on all of the social media platforms. D Love Sports. I love when I see her on TikTok. She be on there having a good time. I think she found a nice place where she could be as charismatic as she is right now on there. So speaking of recruits, that whole area is getting ready to be real hot. You got James Franklin over there and VTech. You got Loxley over there, you know, making some big moves. And based on what you saw Prime do in his first couple of years at Colorado, it only takes a couple players.
Yeah.
It only takes a couple players. You get a couple of guys that come in, it could turn your program around right now. I mean, he had Shedeur and he had Travis, and they just turned the whole fucking program around right then.
Yeah, and I know, like, I think Coach Locke says, like, we're not a developmental program, and I think that I don't like the way that has a bad rep because, yeah, you want to win games, but look at where these guys are going. Are they accomplishing whatever their ultimate goal is, to go to the league? Like, how many guys are in the league that has won a national championship in college? Not that many. like, they came from Alabama, like they came from the big schools or whatever, but it's not that many guys that play professional football that have the hardware. They say we won a championship. So yes, it's great. You want your school to win championships. You want them to be in the playoffs, but ultimately you want these guys to be able to perform at the level that they see themselves post college. Yeah. And I know the developmental thing gets a lot of slack, but look, are we getting guys in the league? Yeah. So come to Maryland.
Oh, so you recruiting for Maryland?
I'm just saying. That's my
Maryland?
thing.
Is that what you just did? Why there with the University of Miami guy here? Is that what you just did?
I wasn't trying to do that, but I'm just, that's just.
If you want to go to the league, come to Maryland.
You want to go to the league? You want to get on the field? Come to Maryland. I did watch a little bit. I
may have a transfer portal receiver for y'all.
Okay, what's his name?
I ain't gonna call no name. But the question is, are you following this?
Locke's gotta cut me a check first. We gonna talk business.
Are you following Kevin Russell, top receiver in the nation? He was supposed to sign up today.
What's his height?
Syracuse, and he didn't.
Oh, he didn't do it. He said he's postponing, right?
He postponed it. And
I saw that.
And people want to know the scoop on Kevin Russell. Now, I know his mom real good. Friend of the family. Most people don't know. You remember Rich Gordon played tight end? He played tight end for the University of Miami. I think he played for Buffalo Bills. That's Rich Gordon's nephew. And his mom, Nevy, she's in the Hall of Fame at the University of Miami. Hall of Fame basketball player, women's basketball player. See, that's why when your little girls start attacking me.
Oh Lord.
On the D Love shoulder, Sports and Coffee, when they start attacking me, talking about, oh, Luke, you just started looking at WNBA when Caitlin Clark. No.
Back to the story, sir. He getting sidetracked.
Let me stay on track.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to go after these. They're going to come after me. I'm going to have to go on one of their platforms and then they're going to jump me again like they did. Well, his mom was arguably the best women's basketball player in the history of the University of Miami. Still to this day, she's in the Hall of Fame. And he was supposed to sign up today. Top receiver, Kevin Russell. He didn't sign up today. Then he was on social media playing with the U and all that and everything. Now, this kid can go to any school in America. If he was, sports like I know sports. And they asked Fran today about it. Fran said, hey, man, that's the climate that we're in. Kids, make a decision. They can sign up now. They can sign up later. They have it's just signing day. They don't necessarily have to sign on that day. Now, knowing Nevy the way I know Nevy and her mom, they're going to do it big. They ain't going to do nothing on the same day everybody else do it on. Because Nevy going to blow it out. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be, it's going to be bigger than life. They might be signing up at Club Live, knowing fucking Nevy. And I'll be right there with her because that's like my little sister. That's like my little sister. So when you look at the climate of college football and big-time recruits like that, right? Do you think they should sign on signing day, or do you think they should make it a very special moment, almost like a prom?
It depends. I think it all depends. Like the kid recently, Maryland has been signing some big names, by the way. They just got Quincy Wilson. If y'all don't know, the track field star, Olympian Quincy Wilson. He is another Maryland guy, young man graduating college. He had he did a celebration of where he was going to go, and I think it all depends. Like, especially if you can get it sponsored, why not? But I think it depends on the player, how they feel. Who they are and the people around them. But I'm cool with it if it's a once in a lifetime. It's a once in a lifetime team for some kids and they want to make a show.
Right,
I'm not against it.
But let me ask you, of a kid of that stature, I understand. I'm from Maryland. I go to Maryland. I'm a 5-star, 4-star kid. I go to Maryland. That's my home school. I want to make my home school great. I want to, stay close to home and all this. But this kid, is committed to Syracuse, and Syracuse had a very horrible year, getting beat 70-7 and shit like that. I mean, fired a whole bunch of coaches. Putting yourself in that situation. I mean, you know, in sports, not as a parent, as a writer, as a sports person. Do you think that would be a good fit for a top of the line kid like that when he has University of Miami, Florida State, and
where's he from?
And I know Notre Dame is in the mix. I know Notre Dame is in the mix because Notre Dame hired Juwan Sider, the running back coach, and he's arguably probably one of the best recruiters of South Florida because he's from the muck. And I sat down with him and Freeman in my office maybe a month ago, and him and Freeman say, look, one of the main reasons why I got Juwan on my staff because I want some of these South Florida kids, which I think Notre Dame is really, really in the mix of getting this young man. Would you think that he would take his talent to a big time program like that versus a program that's really having a major problem?
Yeah. If you have an opportunity, I mean, I know a couple of kids that play for Coach Freeman, and you know, they're not in a conference or whatever, but it is where you're going to get those opportunities. I remember talking to Jeremiah Love right before he went to Notre Dame, right? And this isn't the kid that had what he has now in deals and endorsements and NIL, but like, look what you've become. So you have kids that I've talked to kids that have gone to Oregon solely because Nike is right next door. You have an opportunity to just build a relationship with a brand that's next door. So yeah, I don't see a problem with a kid making that decision because look, with the last thing you want to do is go somewhere and think that portal can save you, because you may think the portal can save you, and sometimes it may not save you in the way you want to be saved. So if this is your opportunity to get on the bigger bus now versus, you know, maybe a bus you weren't really looking at next year after you decide to hop in the portal, you know, do it now, I say.
Yeah. Hey, and there are some places that you can't turn down. There are some programs that's very hard to turn down.
Honey.
You got to make real serious business decisions. I mean, you know, as a coach, and being a part of a lot of my kids going to different schools over the years, you know, I always tell them, say, look at the coach who's coaching your position. Look, that's number one, who's developing, how many people that he developed and sent to the league, not necessarily the head coach, because the head coach is not coaching your room. You're in a room with one guy, and that guy, you depend that the head coach is going to be, you know, he's going to put down on the coaches and put the pressure on the coaches to get the best and the most out of them. Look at that guy and see who that guy has put in the league. If he hasn't put anybody in the league, now you're taking a real serious chance. You know what I'm saying? If you have an opportunity to go in with somebody that has that kind of experience and that cachet, because it's no different than any other business. They're going to go and look for top of the line. They're going to go always shop back at that same
somebody
coach.
else is waiting.
Yeah, they know that coach developed guys to go to the league. You know, the league knows that. The scouts know that. They know if I go to this coach, how many guys he developed, D linemen, how many O linemen he developed, and how many guys he put in the league. And so they look at that. They seriously look at that and say, hey, look, man, because when you're coming from college, you got to be ready for the league because you're going to play right now. It ain't no development of shit. It's like right now. Speaking of the league, your Pittsburgh Steelers are not looking good.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, not my Pittsburgh Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought we went over this already. We didn't went over this. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are not looking good offensively, and they struggling defensively too.
You left the Steelers.
Don't act. Why he acting like? Next question. I mean,
did you leave them? Like,
next question. We've already had this conversation.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm team Mike Tomlin. I'm team Mike Tomlin every day, all day.
I saw something you post on TikTok where you say, I hope Mike Tomlin leave. Are you hoping he get fired? Can you explain
No,
that?
I didn't say nothing about him getting fired. Because he ain't gonna let's be for real. He's not getting fired. It's not gonna happen.
Okay, so You want him to
that's
leave?
not happening.
I
I would love for him to leave Pittsburgh. Absolutely. Because I'm done. Like, I feel like this is where it doesn't matter. Like, unless he wins the Super Bowl, they're not going to appreciate that coach being there. So for them, it's they say it's a playoff win. It don't matter because they lose. They win one playoff game, they lose the next one, they gonna be mad. So it's just like, I think it's time. 20 years in the same place. Let's go somewhere else. He can go anywhere. He can literally go anywhere he want to go. And I would love for him to go somewhere else. And I would love for them to see what life is like without Mike Tomlin. I don't have it in this particular space. I had a whiteboard, because I knew this was going to happen this season. So I already was prepared to show. I already knew. I knew how this was going to go.
You knew this was going to happen.
I knew they were going to start good. They were going to get into this roughness and have this losing streak, because it always happens, right? And they were going to be the Steeler fans that I know them to be. Get him out of here. They can't handle losing, right? I'm tired of being mediocre. I'm tired of having winning seasons and not having playoff wins and not getting to the Super Bowl. But every quarterback he has had since Big Ben, where are they? Minus Aaron Rodgers, where are they? Every quarterback.
Well, today the trash came.
They are on the bench. They're on somebody's bench.
Yeah,
they're on someone's bench.
Why is it that why Ben Roethlisberger got so much negative to say about Mike Tomlin?
I don't think it's
what's the problem with that?
What did he say exactly? Like, I don't know.
I mean, he was on a podcast the other day, and he was like, well, basically saying Mike ain't it. He's over it. Mike need to go ahead and lay it down. I think he's always taking shots. He's always taking shots at Mike Tomlin. He took shots at him last year. He took shots at Russell Wilson. He took shots at everything that they were trying to do. What the fuck? Does he want to coach the team?
I don't know what Ben wants.
Didn't Mike Tomlin take him to
also, Ben has a podcast, so he wants to be entertaining. So
right,
there's that.
What's your take on the Jerry Jeudy situation?
The sideline with Shedeur?
Yeah.
That interaction, I think that was just the wrong place. Like, you can have those conversations, but everyone is watching with a microscope, especially with Shedeur, right? So I think Jerry Jeudy should have had that conversation in a different time, a different place, whatever it was, Yeah.
I mean,
or contain his emotion in that moment.
I talked about it earlier, and I looked at it as a systemic issue. I look at it from a deeper perspective, deep. So I looked at it from the standpoint of this is really systemic, because when a black person get a big promotion, he's in higher authority. And in this case, Dylan Gabriel was out there not doing good for day one. Flacco got traded. You never saw this emotion out of Jerry Jeudy. And Jerry Jeudy's a South Florida kid. I love him to death. I love my South Florida talent. Love him to death. But at the end of the day, you don't do shit like that. But then I look at it and say we have a systemic issue, where when we're put in a position of authority, then we have a tendency of wanting to tear each other down. And that's how I'll take it a step further.
You see how there were play calling for Shedeur from the highlights I've seen. I'll take it a step further. You have limited opportunities to make a play when you're Jerry Jeudy, because they're not allowing him to throw the ball and give you the opportunity to make the plays that you would probably make with a Dylan or Flacco, right? So I'll take it a step further. Like, it's a product of the environment Cleveland has created, and that's why I want Shedeur gone.
So who you got? How you like?
I'm glad you're back on that bandwagon, because you talking about y'all was divorced. Y'all was divorced and all this stuff. You was Miami, and like, I'm glad y'all figured out. Y'all worked it out. Y'all back together.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I know. I'm speaking another language. I understand. I'm holding him accountable. I ain't scared.
We the boys. Hey, look here.
I love George Pickens, though. I'm so happy for him. I love George Pickens.
Yeah, because CeeDee Lamb.
And CeeDee Lamb. Tell CeeDee Lamb to come.
CeeDee Lamb is, that boy can't catch a cold. In this day and age, everybody think Everybody think you got some money on this shit, boy. You drop a ball, it's like, hold on, man. You point shaving or what? But
He all right. He cool. He good. He
listen,
makes up for it. He made up for it.
Let me just say this. At the beginning of the year, I say, look, man, fuck that. Jerry Jones, you know, I'm a Cowboy. Jerry Jones, I hate him. But when I really started thinking about it, and I started trying to go be a full-fledged Dolphin, I was like, how the fuck can I, and this is your problem too, how can I leave someplace I've been to from day one, since the 70s? How can I leave? I am invested in the Cowboys, whether it's Jerry Jones or not. I embrace all that history, good, bad, and ugly, and now you want me to take on this good, bad, and ugly of their history? I can't argue the Dolphins' history. I can only argue for the Dolphins now. So when I started thinking about it, I was like, this don't make sense. I got to go back to this. And I think the NFL knows that, because once you're invested in a team, you can't jump off one team ship and go to another team because of how many years. Just like you sitting your ass up there talking about some damn, I ain't no Steeler, I'm a Mike Tomlin and all that.
I have no problem explaining my situation.
And you can't get a team right now. If you think about getting another team right now, you can't do it.
I don't need another team. I'm good. I'm gonna treat football like I treat basketball. I'm gonna have my players and my coaches that I love. Because like I feel like it's a disease. Like if you look at fandom, the fanaticness of fandom, people are crazy. Like people have unrealistic expectations. You saw somebody egg the offensive coordinator's house at the Eagles. Like people are insane. Fandom does some weird stuff to people. I'm not with it.
No, I understand.
Yeah, I've actually said this. Like, this is one of my things I said on Sports and Coffee, that Mike should go to Penn State. So that's funny that Ben also said that. Like, there's some places that Mike Tomlin could go and get a bag if it was just about a bag. But
why? Penn State is in trouble. They got problems. Penn State,
yeah, they do, and they need a name to fix it. They can promote that man over there, and you know, congratulations if he does get that position, but they're gonna need some help.
Somebody else in the chat. Anybody else in the chat got a question for D Love Sports? That's who we talking to. She's on D Love Sports on all her platforms. D Love Sports on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Y'all can find her live.
Appreciate
all
y'all.
These other places.
Appreciate y'all for sure. Mike Tomlin definitely will do good. Like, look, he could go anywhere. He could literally go anywhere, whatever he wants. Even if he doesn't even want to coach, if he wanted to go on TV, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, thank you, Bradshaw, that was fun. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go push you. Will you out of here? This is Mike Tomlin's seat now. He can do whatever he wants to do."
You got Barbershop Sports Talk. Say he love you covering the Maryland Terps.
Man. Shout out to them. They have a show. Go check them out. One of them is a Ravens fan and one of them is a Steelers fan. So the great dynamic there.
Well, they're trying to put Mike Tomlin in college. Mike Tomlin definitely would do.
He would get a bag. You hear me? He would get a bag.
That would be some shit. I mean, this man.
He would get a bag.
Mike Tomlin in college. And hold on. Just imagine him walking up into living room to recruit. And Mike Tomlin, the Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame, potential Hall of Fame coach, walking up in your living room saying, "I want your son to come." He won't be like no damn Bill Belichick.
I'm trying to tell you, the parents gonna be shocked over Mike Tomlin. Like, I wish people actually knew Mike Tomlin and like had personal interactions with Mike Tomlin. Then you would understand why, like, it don't matter where he goes. Like, I'm supporting him because of who he is. And that's how he gets players to play on this team. Aaron Rodgers, we didn't talk so much about Aaron Rodgers over the years and how he talked about his coaches. This is the only man he's like truly respected in his career, like truly up and down respected, speaks highly of all the time, is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's because if he's a real person, like I wish y'all had the experience.
And let me tell you,
I
I know Mike and
Mhm.
and he always extends his program to me. And hey, Luke, come on up. You know, Fredo Roberts is one of my personal friends who's been coaching with Mike forever. He's tight end coach over there, former University of Miami tight end, former Dallas Cowboy tight end over there with Mike. And they always extend and welcome me to come to the facility, come out there and coach, come out there and be a part of the minority program, to learn some things. And Mike, just like you say, Mike is a great guy. You know, ain't nobody can say nothing bad. I'm like you when it comes to Mike. Ain't nobody can say nothing bad about Mike, you know, because again, and that's the part that people don't realize, that a lot of these guys are human. You got some really, really good people that coach, and you have some really, really bad people that coach, you know, that takes advantage of the opportunity, and they really don't care about these kids.
The opportunity, the authority, all of that.
Exactly. Mike,
your intelligence, your lack of intelligence, they take advantage of all of that.
All
of that.
And people don't, and save lives. People don't realize that. People don't realize how much goes into, you know, coaching these young men and being a father figure, being a mentor, putting down on them when it's time to put down on them, and they respect that. You see what I'm saying? They respect that. You know, at the end of the day. And so people don't realize that. So when you go to firing people like Mike Tomlin and James Franklin, you're firing. You go to fire them type of people. That is hard to replace. You can't replace that by going to get some dude, some baby faced dude who looks cute in the booster club meeting or at the round table. No. Them type of
go bring Brian Daboll in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room and see what happened. Go ahead. He
get ate up alive. It's about 30 some teams, maybe 30, maybe 29 teams that get their ass kicked on a regular basis and are firing coaches on a yearly basis. And so people don't realize that even in college football, it's the same thing. It's very difficult to replace great coaches, and coaches who know talent, coaches who know how to develop, and coaches who know how to win, and coaches who know how to relate to these kids. Probably one of the biggest scam of coaches, and probably the main reason why he probably never won and they had to give him a national championship, is Tommy Tuberville. All the years that he coached, and now he's a senator, it kind of shows you why he's showing you why he wasn't successful in the way he do shit politically against black people, where he had to depend on black kids and black mothers to come play for him, to keep his lights on, to make him and his wife and all the rest of these, in my opinion, racist people in his family profit. And that's the thing. The coach, you get the vibe. You know, the kids who run through a wall for a coach, they really feel like, hey man, I'm gonna be your coach forever. And those teams play harder.
They do.
For that coach. You know, you see a lot of.
I see it. I've seen it at Maryland. Like, Maryland's down. They're losing. But guess what? They're still playing. No matter if it's 2 minutes left on the clock and they down 3 scores, they're still playing to the end of the game. And that's a coach thing. That's them wanting to play for the men on the sideline, coaching them.
Exactly.
You know how many people would give up? How many, like, these young kids, like, man, we losing, we done lost. Like, why I'm gonna play my all at the 1 yard line on defense? Why? We done already lost the game. No, they're still playing. They're still making plays at the end of the game, getting stops.
And that's the thing. Their coach. They playing for their coach. And most people don't understand that. Them kids played their ass off for James Franklin. And you see what happened. They were competing, and then James Franklin leave, and they're like, fuck it. It goes bad. And so, like I say, there are certain coaches these guys play very, very hard for, and then there's coaches that these guys don't. Look, when you look at Georgia, and if you ever hear his speeches and how he relates to his kids and how he coached them hard, because he's coaching them hard because he loved them, and they know it's about love. It's not personal. And them kids can always go back. People talk all they want to talk about Dabo Swinney, right? All the shit that goes around him. Most of the coaches on his staff are former players of his. You know, he keeps that shit in the family. And these guys who win multiple championships, Nick Saban won multiple championships because he coached hard. And them kids and them players and them families knew that he really cared about them, and they ran through a fucking wall. I mean, everybody gonna get 5-star players. But are you going to get them dudes to really go hard for you when it's time to go hard for you, especially
against the 5-star? You know what I mean? Against the 5-star on the other side.
Against a 5-star. And that's the big difference. And a lot of people who fire coaches when they shouldn't be firing these coaches and hire coaches when they should be hiring them, they're not even taking none of that stuff in consideration.
No.
They're looking at, oh, did you win over here at Tulane? Well, okay, you won at Tulane. You had a couple good years. We're going to give you the Florida job. Just like we gave Billy the job, some other G5 coach out of Louisiana who does not have one kid from the state of Florida on his roster. And we're going to give you one of the biggest jobs in the state of Florida. That's stupid as fuck. It don't make no sense. It really doesn't make. It's like Loxley. Loxley is he from the Maryland area? Correct.
Yes.
You see, that is the difference. Maryland did the right, smart thing. Hey, look, let's get us a Maryland guy, not some coach from Appalachia, whatever the fuck it is, Tupelo.
You lose your program.
Who knows the area? Who's invested in the area? Who born and raised in the area? That's like Florida. They stupid as hell.
You lose everything that you've built. Your foundation is gone, and you have to be willing to lose the foundation. And fans cannot comprehend that. And I hate to just keep talking about Maryland and Loxley, but I spent a lot of time there, so I applaud.
You cover them.
I applaud how he handles some of the media and stuff, right? Because you got people. We talked about, like, you just don't know, you don't care, because the media is to definitely be there for the fans, and they see everything that happens on Twitter, and so they want to ask you questions to get responses from the people online that have emotions. But for real, this is a human being at the end of the day. You can't come in here because you got a battery in your back from the fans online, come in here and be disrespectful to someone that you see for 15 minutes a week. You know, like it's kind of odd. So when coaches are able to, maintain their composure to a certain level with media, I applaud them, because some of them times I want to be like, F you. Like, I want him to go off. And when he does it slightly, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I'm like, bro, I would have been way more ruder than that.
Let me ask you a question.
You come in there calling that man by his first name. You don't even know. like coach, you in there talking about some, Mike. And it's so funny when they do it, because I think his response is like George or, Kevin. He kind of says it back to
him. Let me ask you one question before I go, because you ain't down here and it's our Bowser weekend. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we're talking to D-Love from D-Love Sports. Y'all can find her on all the social media platforms, D-Love Sports, and follow her, like, share, subscribe her product. But my last question for you, right? And I was talking about this earlier. You're a reporter. You go to the Maryland game. You watch the team. And to correct me if I'm wrong, after the game, you go and you wait till the coach get prepared and the players, and then you interview these folks. So after the game, say the game ends at 4:00, you're at the stadium from 4 to about what, 6, 7?
It all depends. So you're they say,
for argument's sake, a couple hours.
Games in that 4, you got about 30 to 40 minutes then. And then if you need to do any work, whether it's like a last stand-up or editing, whatever you want to do in the stadium. So it's going to be at least an hour and a half before you leave.
It's going to be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
While you're watching this team and being able to go and sit there and look at your team, You're looking at your team. So when it's time for you to go and ask these questions of, hey, what you was thinking about in this play and what you was thinking about in that situation and all these different things like that, you're not watching another team, are you?
Mm-mm.
You can't watch them. I'm going somewhere with this as a reporter because I'm trying
if
to.
You were sitting in the press box, so I would say I spend a lot of time on the field because I do photography as well. If you are sitting in the press box, they do have televisions in there that are showing other games. So when you say
but they're not showing
watching
25 other games.
They're not. I don't know, depending on what conference I can only speak for the Big Ten, right? Most of the time they're showing another Big Ten game in there. Maybe it's one. I don't know if it's two, but it's at least one other game in there. So they are score watching. A lot of people in the press box are score watching while they're in the press box.
So my point, where I'm going with this is here. There's no way possible as a writer you can leave a stadium and then say these are the top 25 teams in the country. Because you didn't watch 25 games.
No, right. You're not. You're going off of the highlights, the box scores, the traditional thing.
Because you're focused on your team and you got to do your report, you got to do your interviews and all that. So my point to this is, and I was talking about this earlier before you came on, I call it the ESPN College Football Invitation, where ESPN, you have the coaches poll where they can't do it. They can't fucking sit there and watch 100 teams to determine these are the top 25. The reporters can't do it. The AP, the media poll, they can't do it. So who the fuck is really doing it? To determine that these are the top 25 teams in the nation, because all y'all got something to do. All y'all got something to do. And then, and when you get home, you looking at the scores. Oh shit, okay, whatever the highlights. Oh, they beat them. They beat them. Oh shit, wow. So if the reporters can't give you the top 25 because they can't sit up there and look at 100 teams to determine these are the top 25 teams in the nation, and the coaches can't do it because they're back there looking at film of the previous game. They're dealing with interviews and all that other shit, and they're breaking down films, getting ready for the next game. So who's really, my last question to you, who's really coming up with these fucking polls?
I don't know. It ain't me. They didn't give me no opportunity to vote. But the day that they do, I'll let you know. Look,
on that note, we'll end it, and you will be voting very soon. But I want to thank you for joining me at the last moment. I hope I didn't interrupt your little date, because last time Dee came on, she was on a hot one. Y'all link up? Did y'all link up? Are y'all in a committed thing now? Because I want to tell these people, don't go in your DM.
Goodbye. Like, it's on my nerves.
People, when D comes on here, and I should be off here. When D comes on here, she comes.
Don't you got a date? Don't you got a date?
And hating ass dudes, all the hating ass dudes be like, "Oh, why are you hanging out with Luke? We're on a goddamn podcast. She's over here in Maryland, and they get in their feelings that me and her are talking sports. I don't understand why dudes so intimidated.
They said they know how you get down. They just want to make sure I stay pure. I'm very pure.
Hey, look, if you have a problem that me and this beautiful lady is on here talking, and y'all need to get y'all shit together. Don't worry about me. Get your shit together. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But hey, man, I like to thank you for coming on today. I like to thank everybody for joining us today. We're on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's my girl D Love Sports. Y'all can join her. Go to follow her. I'm telling you, follow her on all her social media pages. She's very charismatic on TikTok, where she does a show and she has people come up and ask questions and all these different things. It's a beautiful time. She knows her shit. When it comes to sport, she knows her shit. At some point, we're not going to be able to talk to her because she's going to get big time eventually. She has some great interviews with some great people. It's a beautiful thing when I like to bring people on who have good content and people who know their shit versus just bringing anybody on to talk about anything. So, go follow her. She does sports and coffee in the morning on her platforms. You can follow her on X, D-Love Sports on X. Follow her on YouTube. Follow her on TikTok, Instagram, and all that. It's been real. I went a fucking hour overtime. I only come in here to do an hour. But I went an hour overtime, gave y'all some love and all that, and I got to go now, get myself together to go do a private concert tonight, get in that crazy traffic going down to Wynwood because Art Basel weekend. But I enjoyed it. Thank you guys who are on my YouTube page. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube page. Man, we're doing good over there. My followers went up 130% on YouTube, so, hey, that's a great thing, and that's a testament to you guys over there on the YouTube page, turning people on to what we do. Next week, we're going to go exclusively on YouTube. We won't be live on X or and Facebook. We're going to go exclusively on YouTube. So people, please go like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. You'll be able to get the link off of X and see some of the highlights of the clips. But people, please go to my YouTube page. That's UncleLuke.tv. UncleLuke.tv. You'll see all kind of crazy interviews. You'll see all kind of stuff. You'll probably see some of the show that I go do tonight over there on my YouTube page. But go over there. TikTok, I'm on Uncle Luke 305. Go over there and follow me over there on Instagram. I'm Uncle Luke Real One. Same thing on X, Uncle Luke Real One. If you're on any other platform that you can follow me, just follow me. Follow me, because I'm on all those platforms talking shit. They kicked me off of TikTok. They be banning me and shit. They're a little sensitive over there. So I think my ban is up tomorrow. I'll probably be on there doing a little quick live with Glow and the girls. But I'd like to thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we got some good dialogue in. I'll be back on Friday and let something big happen. But in the meantime, like I always say in the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours. Bye-bye.
Pull out the stick, come shoot that. Booty poke out like a book bag. Booty poke out like a book bag. Pull over ass too fast. Come we should go bring that Uncle Luke back.